Okay guys, last video for the night. I actually maybe want to start adding the time and dates for the videos because and you guys know my internet's pretty slow, so I might upload it the next day or a couple days, but also I do like it to be pretty accurate, and so I will forever remember the moment. So when I look in the future, I'm like, wait, did I actually post this, make this on this day or this day before? So I do want to start adding it, and I think it gives a little nice intro. But why not? Let's do it. So actually, it's February 1st. January is over. Nuts. It's absolutely nuts. It's a Sunday, February 1st, 2026, and it's currently 8:14 p.m. and that is on the West Coast time. I love the West Coast. I'm probably in one of the most beautiful states in the US. Genuinely. And I've been to many states and countries. So I know I'm a little biased too. Okay. Anyway, let's get into this video. I made this video because I want to share with you guys kind of how to unlock your superpower or the first level of your superpower. We'll change this. Easier to look at. So, I think that looks better for you guys. It's just kind of messing with my eyes. The reason you want to, I'll say, unlock this superpower, this first level, is because whatever your goal is, and I mean, it depends who you are. But for this community that we're in this path, and kind of for, I guess, the certain audience maybe that I have or that I want specifically, I mean, I would love everybody, but you want something. You're looking for something, obviously, right? Like, I'm just kind of assuming here, but whether if it's your purpose, your goal, something deeper, we are all searching for that, or something that drives us, that gives us that thrill to find the answer, to find that missing piece to the puzzle. And this step is what is going to take you there. But let me tell you, I'll warn you. There's a saying, and it's kind of, I've heard it mostly for like relationships, but other things too. They say, first I'll say this, actually. What you don't know can't hurt you, and sometimes the less you know, the better. However, they say the more intelligent person has the knowledge, but they also suffer more of the pain because they, and it's an older saying, so they say like the fool is undamaged, is unharmed because they are not knowledged on whatever that was of the information they are unaware about. And they also say the more intelligent person has a rather more difficult time meeting somebody that they can really, I'll say, pair with or click with, because they are searching for so much and they see a lot of things ahead, or they want someone who can be on that similar level with them, whether if it's mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. But it's more difficult to find, obviously. There's a lot of psychology that goes into that, but we'll not go too far on that longer spectrum. So beware of that. But so with that saying, the more knowledgeable you are, you also become, I'll say it, not like, I know it sounds a little cringy. I'll word it to where it sounds better. You kind of become more of a, not necessarily main character, but the best thing I can really think of, what comes to my mind, is a hidden savior, or maybe a protector in the dark, or the light in the dark. Maybe you might not be as noticed, when you're a crowd, when you're full of people, but sometimes when you see movies, think of it like a movie. People are going in a crowd, they're moving, they're in the street, it's people going everywhere, but there's just that one person. They're kind of thinking, they're processing. They have that different energy about them. You can say the aura around them. is different. And this is not made up stuff. This is real things, real events, real people. And I'd like to put it like that. That's kind of who you can become, or you can kind of unlock something that, whether if people need something or they want to talk to, they might naturally go to you. Or in certain aspects of life, whether if it's work, a job, school, or career, or whatever it is, it really pays off. And sometimes it comes to a subconscious thing for others and other people, how they react like that, their natural reaction, I'll say, or their instinct, there we go. Their instinct will act differently or a certain way towards you, whether because maybe they can trust you, they accept you, or they have that feeling of certainty that there's something about this person that maybe they like, or as I said in the beginning, they have that trust. And it's very crazy to me because there's a lot of psychology behind this and how humans work and how the instinct works, and how you can really be like, man, maybe we do actually have souls and spirits, and we do have something unique in us that maybe we don't all even know. Maybe it's a feeling, but we don't have like a scientific explanation for that. So that being said, you can kind of unlock that ability. And a lot of that comes with learning to be more well-spoken, learning to read through people better. And again, it's level 1. It's your very beginning. Don't be so hard on yourself. And it's okay to make mistakes because that's how we learn from things. Damn, that's good. And so there's a little example I have for you guys there. That low-key was a banger. Let's not get ahead of myself here. So there we have that. Let's stick with that. So how do you unlock this? How do you unlock your level 1? Your level 1 to unlocking your mastermind, we'll say. To leave a good impression or a scar. Not a terrible scar, but I'll use it as an example. Something that's, I think would the right word be everlasting? Something that's everlasting. So when your name comes up, they think of you, or whether if you're not around or with that person, when they think of you or something, maybe they want to ask you something, like, oh, I need to ask them something about this next, or they kind of connect with you in a way that, and some sort of love, I guess. Or again, you have that safety for them. Or there's a lot to be said about that. But I don't want to get off too much off topic. So, before I forget, I almost forgot some stuff I wanted to say. When you get to there, how do we start? Okay? Man, there was something really good I was cooking, but we'll save it for later. And I kind of forgot because, again, I'm processing so much. So, to unlock your level 1, oh yes, I had to go back and rewatch because I remember now. So you leave that effect on someone or about yourself. And a lot of people think about this too much or try and take it the wrong way. I mean this in all the positive way. To where maybe years from then, you'd be like, oh yeah, you know what? I remember that person. They helped me, or they maybe changed something that actually changed my life for the better, or they got me to do this thing that turned me around completely. It could be the smallest thing too. And I don't mean this in an egotistical way. I mean this with the most, if humility is a word, maybe that's what I mean it with. To be so powerful where it's very difficult for someone to speak ill of you, to where they can look back even through all the years of time and they can remember something so specific that you said or that you did for them. Something that, a memory you can say, they leave in their heart that they can't forget. And that's kind of what you want, because it's better to leave things off in a cleaner note on a clean sheet. There's a lot to be said about that too. Whether of the purpose to have, excuse me. Sorry, dang, that banana milk got me going. But that purpose to have people have maybe the comfort or the safety I was kind of bringing up in the beginning of the video, that they have that, think about that with you, around you, while you're there or not, or away. So we'll put that on a pause and we'll put more of that to the end. So now, how do you unlock this? How do you get your mastermind? How do you unlock your mastermind? First things first, because it's level 1, your very beginning, your introduction. I'm sure you guys all heard the go to the gym, eat healthy, books, journaling, and it's kind of the very simple basic things. Those are good ways to get into it, but you can do those things, but not really be present or be there within yourself or in the moment. Think of it like this. If you guys are doing, let's say, school, or let's say a job, say maybe you work at fast food and you're, making the burgers or the fries at McDonald's, whatever. You're just kind of doing it, okay, this, but like, are you really fully putting your entire mind to something, or something you thought about earlier today, or maybe your ultimate goal, or if you're putting it straight to French fries, right? Does that kind of make sense? Because you can do the good habits, but some people just do it because they might have seen it and they're, oh yeah, I journal, but like, do you really journal? Do you really read the books? Do you really take in what you're doing? Are you really learning from what you're doing? And so that's a very big important part. But if so, there's different levels of journaling that can really, actually, is probably one of the best ways to get started, and the best way to do these things, is to journal, as in if it was you were writing your life story, your biography, right? That's the very first step. And for me, I recommend buying, you don't have to go expensive, I recommend buying a nicer journal. Go to one of the stores, and I actually have some right here. They're kind of put away. This was my 2025 journal, I believe. It isn't my favorite looking, but it's kind of a synthetic leather. It feels really nice, and it's actually a really nice journal. I love it. However, what I'm saying is, go to the store, close this, find a journal that you're like, you know what, this is the one. This is the right one. I love how it feels. I love the pages. I feel like I can write in this really well. And I'll show you guys what I picked out. I picked out this one. Now this was expensive. This was $65. It was made in Italy. But just getting this single-handedly made me feel, I know you shouldn't be like completely, emotional, which it's not. It's, we're drawn to some things. This helped me feel like when I would write in a journal, I was really productive, I was very happy, and I felt like I was writing my entire life or a book, just because of the quality, the style, the aesthetic, and just the doing, just looking at something beautifully made and being able to write in it, Because you have pride in things. You have pride in things maybe you worked hard for and that you get to use, or something you've always wanted. So that's the very first step. Write your journals like your biography, whether if you want to write a couple times a week, every day. I used to do every day, every night, whenever, or maybe you can do once a week, depending how eventful or how much time you have, or how eventful your life is. But try and do it more often. Don't do it to where you don't want to do it and you end up hating it. But get into it. Because when you actually have the time, it gets very addicting. When you write, sometimes you can go for hours and you won't even know how much time went by. And sometimes when you write, you kind of get a flow. You feel like actually the time stops. And you get to put things on your mind onto paper, and then you get to read them, leave them again, and put your history down. And whether if you look back at what you've read or not, there is still a effect it has on yourself, kind of in your head, that makes your thinking process a lot more, I'll say, critical, or I'll say intelligent, we could put, or your intellect. It starts to strengthen your brain, I'll say, and your memory. And think of like your brain going to the gym. It really does pay off because you learn new things, you learn new words, you learn new things about yourself, you come up with new ideas, you get a lot of weight off your shoulders or your chest. And again, if sad to say, but if something were to happen to you, you can have some thoughts in there so people can remember you for something, or be like, you know what, I didn't know they were like that. Or your history. You get to leave a form of your history. You open this book, you written it, you literally spent time with this book, this item, this, I guess, story you have in a book. It's fascinating. So that's my very first thing. Start to journal, and journal in a way that, I guess, changes how you see yourself in a lot of things. Gratitude journaling's good, but I think it's a little more, I won't say corny, but kind of like temporary, and I guess a little faked. Unless you have the biography style of journaling, you can talk about what you were grateful from that day. You can include everything you want. So that's one thing. And also, writing down in pen, paper, and putting your thought process has also a lot of other benefits for you, because everything's going to computers and iPhones and electronically. So there's the very first thing. Journaling will take you probably one of the farthest destinations for unlocking your mastermind, because as you go up in the next levels, journaling's always there. And guess what? You now have a stronger, more intelligent mind to work with, to put on paper. So that is a very good point, actually, that I would probably bring out a lot. The second thing, I will say, books are good, but if you can't make the time for books, because I know we get very busy, and sometimes I don't really get the time. I actually got some books I haven't read yet. I don't know if it's around. I think I have it down there. And there's a couple I have actually read and finished, but there's also audiobooks too. Sometimes if I can't read the book I will have it in an audiobook as I'm driving to work. That really helps, because that actually gives you a really good perspective on things. But reading is good. If you can make the time for reading and you get the right books, it can actually really help, because again, we don't really read that often with, I mean, you read your phone, you read other things, but it's not really the power of reading a book or a story or powerful words put into paper, and you're sitting there actually putting your time and attention to it. And that's a very difficult thing. A lot of people don't have the time or the attention because they feel like they're missing out, or they're so overwhelmed with other things to do, they feel like a book is almost wasting their time. I get that a little bit too. So if you can do that, books are very helpful. They actually give you a lot of very good perspectives from other people, other experiences, and maybe you can have things that you can really relate to in books that they can share with you. So there's another thing there. I know there's a short one, but books are kind of books. It is what it says, and every book is different. So it kind of also varies on the books you're reading. All right. So for the third thing, first we got journaling. Second we got books. Second we got books. Third, it's not really in order, but I kind of want to keep it in order. We'll do kind of a more powerful one. Let me think. Okay, Third is social events or going out. And I'll have that correlate with nature and just kind of being outside or experiencing things, sorry. Going out and actually living in moments, being present in the moment. And so let's talk about that. And then I'll add a couple more very small things at the end that help. And I actually really want to give a big shout out to some like different musics. And guys, I will actually, because I have something playing on my Mac right here. I was also watching the time as I get closer and I need to go to bed. I made some music playlists on Spotify that are, some to listen to for fun, but a couple that are meant to really put you maybe at peace or to give you a really interesting sense of feeling, because music have different hertz levels and sounds and things that make us think or feel a certain way. And I got a playlist I'll put for you guys, and I'll probably link some time, and actually I'll do a whole video on my music and all the different things that could be very helpful, because I will say this music is very powerful, actually. It's one of the most overlooked, underrated kind of, I'll say, powers. Music is probably one of the most powerful things when it comes to unlocking your mastermind. Believe it or not. But okay, let's talk about number 3. So, going out to social events, nature, or just experiencing life is the third step. And you can go little by little. Again, this is very easy beginner, kind of first introducing yourself to your mastermind, okay? So maybe you have the journaling, you're starting to get really good at it, you're starting to get on a deeper level, you're really like, going at it. You're passionate about it now. Then maybe if you can, you got some books, audiobooks, and you're like, man, I'm learning so much information. And it's nice too, because YouTube can teach you a lot. YouTube's great. So long form content too. Then you're now like, okay, I feel like I need to go out, I need to talk to people, I need to experience something, I need human interaction, or I want to get out of the house, let's say. The reasoning why, also because, if it's a natural feeling, you need to get out of the house, go. But why this unlocks your mastermind is because anything can happen when you go out. Whether if you're by yourself, you're with others, or in a huge crowd of people, anything can happen. You can meet anybody, or you can meet nobody. And that's the beauty of it, because there's a lot of unpredictable things that can literally change how your life goes, or how the next day goes, or what happens next, or if this happened, what would happen there? Or if something else happened, what would tomorrow be like instead? Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable things. And when you understand that, and so when you go out, let's say in a public place, you're talking with people, you're interacting, or maybe you're going to a cafe to do some work, or maybe to journal. Maybe you want to go to the cafe to journal, have your Mac, or do something, right? Get a coffee. Just going on the drive, or the walk, or the bicycle ride, because in either one of the ways, you're thinking about something, you're processing, and there's things around you, there's people around you, and when you say maybe go to order the coffee, if you are in this mindset, you profile people and things, sights, sounds, smells, touch, all of that. And you think, oh, this guy was really friendly to me, or this guy, was like, you think about it. It's, as humans, it's our nature to, our instinct to do this. And the reason why it's very powerful is because when you can get past that point of your thinking, it's like you're almost there. You're pretty much there. Because now you are aware with yourself, you're present with yourself, you're present in the moment, you're present with the things around you. You have now unlocked you could say your mastermind, or this spirituality, or your soul, that if we do have souls, which I truly want to believe in, that we do have souls, you have unlocked that. And the ability to connect with others or not, to read other people or not. Because when you have the ability to do that, you can really see past a lot of people and a lot of events or a lot of experiences, or you can learn so much from people, even the smallest things, even the smallest reactions. You can learn a ton. 100 million different outcomes for all of those different ideas or decisions that can happen. If that didn't make too much sense, I'll break it down like this. I'll summarize it. And again, it depends because it's very situational. It depends. Anything can really happen. But I guess we'll say on a more casual day. And that's when it's actually the best days, is the casual days. It's when it's more quiet. It's, not as hectic or busy. You kind of have that peace, that quietness to hear yourself think in your own mind and in your thoughts. Damn, I'm getting tired, low key. So, yeah, that is the third way to unlock and to start your mastermind, to unlock your superior ability to have ultimate and unique intellect that is just so memorable, so impactful, that maybe you can change somebody's life for the better someday, or yourself. Obviously, you cannot save everybody. Sometimes they have to save themselves, or someone else has to save them later in their life. But the more and more we have this ability and we have people like this, the better impact we can have on the world and each other. And although it still might be small numbers, the more of us that are out there, for those who may not have unlocked that yet, when they meet those kinds of people, you almost recruited another one similar to you in terms of maybe their deeper level of character. And people will take this all the wrong way, but I'm saying it's not. It's about a community of genuinely good-hearted people with good morals, good soul and spirit, good intentions. We need more people like this, especially in the younger generation and all the crazy stuff going on now, all the evil we're surrounded by. We need more saviors, more heroes, more, I guess, I'll say hidden angels maybe, or someone to, be with us there, and a maybe third perspective too. When the time is needed, it's almost like a miracle that you got to meet that person. So that's number 3. That's a good one. Those are the biggest main 3. I'd say number 2, books. It depends on the book, but it is part of it. But I would say the first one, journaling, and number 3 are probably the most important. I didn't go really in order, but I'd probably put books kind of more with the lower level on the spectrum, but it's still pretty high up there. So we have those 3, we'll put it there. The next ones, we'll just kind of throw out there. So obviously music is another one. I won't get too deep into the music segment yet because, again, I don't want this video to be entirely long, and I'll do a separate thing. But certain types of music is very, very helpful, very powerful. And then aside from other things, your overall health. And this is very obvious, but I'll put it like this. Your diet and your sleep. Very important, okay? If you're eating very unhealthy, you're going to have brain fog. You're going to have a lot of lethargic kind of days, low energy, and that will only stray you further away from ever unlocking the very beginning of your mastermind set. Secondly is your sleep. Sleep is very important, and some of us have the ability to sleep on 4 hours and actually feel like you got 8 hours of sleep. It is an actual condition. Some people can literally take very small naps or very little amounts of sleep and have more energy, and it's actually considered a human superpower. So there's that, but generally get a healthy sleep schedule and have a healthy diet. And those are pretty obviously, but it's something that's part of it that helps. But I think there's a lot more that goes down the road onto this, so I think we'll do another one, maybe a more advanced one, but this is kind of the beginner, how to unlock it. So let's wrap up this video. How about that? To summarize, okay. To summarize, go out, have a balance. The third thing I said, number 3, go out, do what you can, live in the moments, live in the nature. Kind of what I was talking to you guys about for the third thing to unlock your master mindset. Do some of that. Do some of the journaling, read some of the books, listen to some of the audiobooks. A lot of the philosophy ones are very good. Some philosophers completely reject emotions, some embrace them, so you'll get a whole mix of everything. And that's also because you have to be very careful with your thought process. I'll do this for my deeper video, but to kind of mention it, you can't be 100% full-blown right away. You do have to take some time to think about certain things and analyze before you jump the gun right away, because that can be very dangerous. Because you could be like, oh really, Marcus Aurelius said this, and 100%, like no emotions, no zero, like just full on extreme, whether if it, let's say, black pilled or red pilled, whatever. If that's what you truly believe, fine, but I'm saying if you just jump the gun 100% and you're not actually thinking about it before you really pull that trigger, it becomes dangerous. So, but yeah, let's wrap up the video. Have balance, have patience, and don't give up. Try and implement as many things as you can. Manage your time well, and if you can meet people who are similar, I'm very happy for you, because it is very rare in this time and generation. However, be careful, because it's very difficult to trust. So start off easy, start off slow, give trust, but don't give your 100% trust yet. It takes time. Trust takes time. Unless there are some people you can actually, again, how I mentioned in a couple other of my videos, there was some people that I've met that I felt like I knew for years, and I trusted them. I would actually trust them with my life, or whether if it was a partner, you connected with them so well, you loved them, that you say, I feel like I was with this person in a previous life, or I was with this, or I could be with this person for an eternity. If it's something like that, it's more understandable, but I'm just saying you also have to be cautious. So that wraps it up for now. Anything else I'll put in later videos, but man, we've been cooking. We've been on a roll. I'm really happy, guys. So this is going really well. But I think that's it for now. I hope you guys really like this. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll be getting the timelines when I can, because I think the chapters in the videos are pretty nice and organized and helpful. And I do need to start screen recording and putting these into YouTube Shorts and TikTok Shorts, because Shorts is what really helps build an audience. All right. Anyway, time to get ready for bed, and gotta wake up at 3 soon. I will be done with this job soon. I will not let it consume me. I will not let it take my young years and for me to get comfortable and never accomplish the dream and just be a nobody. I will not let that happen. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.